And speaking of acolytes, listen to our Deputy Prime Minister, Finance Minister, Chrystia Freeland, who just stood by while a journalist was roughed up by a cop. One of her security detail was arrested for assault. Big joke. And she said nothing to criticize the actions of her security guard. Okay with her, obviously. If you're not condemning it, if you're not criticizing it, you support it. Let's listen to what Chrystia Freeland had to say at the WEF. And it's nothing like Javier Milei.
A hugely transformative moment in the whole global economy. I think that right now we're living through a moment which is comparable only to the Industrial Revolution itself in terms of the energy transition and the way we need to retool all of our manufacturing. That is huge. Canada's strategy, Borge, is to say, look at these two trends and let's see how we can use them to play to Canada's strengths. And our view is there's a lot that Canada can offer to the world in this moment.
A lot that Canada can offer to the world. What about offering Canadians something, Chrystia Freeland?
We are developing our economies, growing our economies at a time when we also need to accomplish the green transition. And I spoke yesterday to a very significant international business leader who is also a big investor in Canada. And he said to me, all the countries in the world need to be very careful that decarbonization does not mean deindustrialization. I thought that was an extremely smart comment, and Canada is absolutely determined that decarbonization for us will mean more jobs, more growth, more manufacturing, and we recognize government needs to play a role to make that happen.
No, you're not in this game of politics because you are defending Canadians, because you want the best for Canada. You are in the political game because you are serving your globalist masters. But she looks pretty weak, pretty feeble here, doesn't she? Suggesting that Canada is retooling its manufacturing base. Canada hasn't had a manufacturing base for decades, just like the United States lost their manufacturing base to much of the third world and to China. That's where everything is being produced. All the manufacturing is being done overseas. So don't give me this nonsense about retooling. And here she is, and she reinforces this idea that Canada has, 85% clean energy? And she really continues to push and promote this lie that the green energy is somehow going to suffice to propel a modern economy into the future. When we just saw in Alberta, when the temperatures plummeted to minus 65 with a wind chill factor, the batteries wouldn't have worked in the cars. The electrical grid froze almost literally. People were asked to stop charging their phones and to unplug appliances to avoid rolling blackouts. That's how well your policies are working, Chrystia Freeland. And you can deny it. And you can go to Davos and serve your masters, and you can worship at the feet of your globalist masters. But Canadians aren't listening anymore. And they're waking up to what Davos and the WEF is all about.
Hi, this is David Krayden from Krayden's Right and Stand on Guard. Join the resistance. Resolve to resist. Become a member of this station. I've been practicing journalism in one form or another for over 30 years. I've worked in print, radio, and television for a lot of prestigious publications and media outlets. I was an Armed Forces Public Affairs officer. I worked in Parliament Hill. I know how Ottawa works, and I know how corrupt federal government can be. But you can play a part in opposing Justin Trudeau's government and Justin Trudeau's plans for Canada. You can become a part of the Kraydens Right Resistance. Now, I urge you today, please support this station in any way you can. And ring that bell, subscribe, because that ensures you're at least going to continue to be able to watch these episodes. You'll beat the algorithm. But more importantly, I need your financial support. I hate to ask, but that's what I'm doing. I made a decision to pursue independent media because I believed it was the best possible route for me to take as a journalist and as a concerned citizen of Canada. So you can become a part of that. And at only $5, you can become a part of that on YouTube, on Substack, and with Buy Me a Coffee, a one-time donation. But I need your support. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. If you've already done that, if you're already supporting the station, thank you. But if you haven't, make that decision today